He guarded the border for 20 years. Then one morning he crossed it. Park Chul-soo wasn't a desperate refugee. He was one of North Korea's most elite soldiers, hand-selected to guard Panmunjom, the most watched strip of land on Earth, standing 1 meter from South Korea every single day for 2 decades. On July 27, 2023, the 70th anniversary of the Korean War armistice, in front of both armies, in broad daylight, he took 2 steps forward. This is how he did it. For more exclusive testimonies, subscribe and become part of our investigative community. I spent 20 years as a guard at Panmunjom. I started at 25 and stood there until I was 45, facing a South Korean soldier every single day, 1 meter apart. From 2003 to 2023, I kept the same post. What I saw there and what finally drove me to make a decision on my last day changed everything. It all started when I was 25 years old. My name is Park Chul-soo. I was born in Pyongyang, the son of a colonel in the Korean People's Army. My father was a Korean War veteran. He put his hand on my shoulder. The day I was selected for the Panmunjom security force, "Chul-soo," he said, "you are the pride of this family." In North Korea, that assignment is the highest honor a soldier can receive. Only a handful are chosen from thousands of candidates. The requirements are strict. You need to be at least 5 feet. 9, have an upstanding appearance, unshakable ideological loyalty, and a clean background check going back 3 generations. My father's war record got me through. The night before I left, my family gathered. My mother, my wife, my newborn son. "Protect your country well," my mother said, wiping her eyes. "That baby is in his 20s now." I arrived at Panmunjom in April 2003. The place hummed with tension from the moment I saw it. A wide plaza, low buildings, and cutting straight through the middle, the military demarcation line. "Beyond that line is South Korea," my commanding officer said. "The enemy is watching us right now." My first shift was at 10 a.m. My heart was pounding. Then I saw a South Korean soldier standing on the other side, exactly 1 meter away, close enough to touch. He was wearing sunglasses, but I could feel his eyes on me. That's the enemy. I gripped my rifle, but something struck me as strange. He looked exactly like me. Same Korean face. 2 hours. We stood there without moving, without speaking, without blinking. My legs ached, but I held still. A Panmunjom guard never shows weakness. When the rotation came, I returned to the barracks. "Well done, Comrade Park." "Excellent for a first day," my officer said. That night I wrote in my journal, "Today, I saw a South Korean soldier for the first time, 1 meter away. I will defend my country. 20 years, 30 years I will hold this post." I had no idea I would actually stand there for 20 years, and no idea what those 20 years would do to me. The first month passed. Every day was the same. Up at 6 a.m., ideological education, 2 hours on duty, 2 hours off. The rations were good by North Korean standards, white rice and meat twice a week. But discipline was absolute. No smiling, no talking, no moving. 3 months in, I locked eyes with a South Korean soldier. Something shifted in me. He's a person just like me. A Korean, just on the other side. I pushed the thought away. No, he's the enemy. A year passed. A letter came from home. My son had turned 1. He was learning to walk. "When are you coming home?" Panmunjom guards got 2 days leave a year. Too short, but nothing could be done. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I kept standing there. South Korean soldiers came and went. A young face would appear, stay for about a year, then be replaced. But I stayed, year after year after year. 10 years in, a small question formed somewhere in my chest. Why am I standing here? I buried it. This was my duty. I didn't know yet that the question would keep growing. In 2015, something hit me hard. My father died. My mother called, voice breaking. "Chul-soo, you have to come for the funeral." He kept asking for you. But I couldn't leave. Panmunjom duty didn't allow emergency leave. "I'm sorry, Mother. I can't come." I set down the phone. Tears came before I could stop them. My father's last moments, and I couldn't be there. That night I stood at my post. 1 meter away, a South Korean soldier stood in the dark. He couldn't have known what I was carrying. For the first time in 12 years, the things I'd never questioned began to shake loose. Around that same time, my younger son applied to Kim Il-sung University. His scores were more than good enough. He was rejected. "Why?" I asked. An education official explained, "Your father is a permanent Panmunjom guard. No bonus points. No advancement potential." I'd given 12 years to that post, And my son couldn't even get into university because of it. I hung up. My hands were trembling. The next day at work, a young South Korean soldier stood across from me. 22, maybe 23. He'll be discharged in 2 years. He'll go to college. He has a future. And me? Will I still be standing here in 15 years? A chill settled over me. One afternoon, a South Korean tour bus pulled up. Tourists poured out, snapping photos, laughing freely. Children, grandparents, all of them moving however they wanted, saying whatever they felt. That's what South Koreans look like. That's how they live. I caught myself envying them, then caught myself catching myself because envy was forbidden. One student said to a friend, close enough that I heard, that soldier looks exhausted. How does he do this every single day? Something hollowed out in my chest. 2018, my 15th year. The rations were cut. Corn rice, soybean soup, no meat. What happened to the food? A fellow guard muttered. Then on an afternoon shift, a smell drifted over from the South Korean side. Meat on a grill. My mouth watered. That evening, corn rice again. One piece of kimchi. Same country. 1 meter apart. Completely different worlds. 2020, my 17th year. My older son finished his military service. Dad, when are you coming home? 2023, wait for me. He was out in 2 years. I'd been there 17. My younger son enlisted. I'm going to be a great soldier just like you, Father. I looked at him and said, no. Get out as fast as you can. Go live your life. My wife stared at me. Why would you say that? Isn't it an honor? It's a waste of time. First time I'd ever said it out loud. 2021 COVID. We wore masks. So did the South Korean guards. Same virus. Same masks. Same human bodies on both sides of that line. 18 years in, the fracture inside me was widening. 1 meter. That distance was starting to mean something different. 2023, my final year. The end was in sight. July 27th discharge. Park Chul-soo, 20 years of service at Panmunjom. Official notification received. 20 years. I walked in at 25. I was leaving at 45. My entire prime spent standing in one spot. Congratulations. 20 years is remarkable, my officer said. I felt nothing. Then came the follow-up notice. Post-discharge assignment farm supervisor, outskirts of Pyongyang. Essentially watching people grow corn. This is what I get for 20 years at Panmunjom. I kept my face still and walked outside. Then I stood there and clenched my fist. That night I looked in the mirror. 45 years old. Deep lines, gray hair. I got old here. I left everything here. At my next shift, a South Korean soldier. In his mid-20s stood across from me. Sharp, healthy, eyes forward. When he gets discharged, what will he do? Go back to school? He has a future. And me? Am I going to grow old on a farm? I called my wife one evening. I'll be home in July. Finally, I'll be waiting. I'm sorry. For what? For 20 years. For not being there. You're coming home now. That's what matters. She was happy. I wanted to cry. April slid into May. At my post, the same thought kept circling. 20 years of standing here. What did I do with it? What did it cost? A South Korean tour group came through. A student's voice carried across the air. That soldier looks so exhausted. How does he stand there every single day? Yeah, because I have been for 20 years. The words landed like a weight. Then one afternoon in May, a South Korean soldier held my gaze a moment longer than usual and gave a small nod. I didn't plan what happened next. I nodded back. In that half second, something became clear. We're not enemies. We're the same people, just standing on different sides of a line. 19 years in, and that was the first time I truly felt it. June. 1 month left. I was going to go back. Farm supervisor. Slow fade. That was the picture. But another picture kept pushing through. 1 meter. 2 steps. A different world on the other side. Then I thought of my family. Mother. Wife. My sons. If I defected, they'd be taken. Guilt by association, Yonjache. A North Korean law holding 3 generations responsible for one person's crime. My defection would drag them into prison camps. That's the same as killing them. I wrestled with it. But another thought crept in. Will my dying slowly on a farm make their lives any better? Everyone in North Korea is suffering. My sacrifice changes nothing for them. The beginning of July. 3 weeks left. Every day at my post, the question pressed harder. Cross or don't cross. 20 years of holding that line. But now I wanted to go. Towards something I'd never been allowed to have. July 20th, 7 days left. I woke up and checked the calendar. 7 days. Then my officer called me in. Comrade Park, July 27th is the 70th anniversary of the armistice. There will be a ceremony. Both sides will have events. It'll be chaotic. Chaotic. The word stayed with me. Chaotic means loose security. This might be the only window I get. That afternoon at my post, the young South Korean soldier stood there again. How much life does he have ahead of him? Love, family, dreams. And me? A farm in Pyongyang growing smaller every year. I made my decision. I'm going. Then my family came back to me hard. My mother over 70. My wife in her mid-40s. Both sons, grown men now. If I go, they go to a camp. All of them. My hands shook. This is the same as killing them. But no matter which way I turned it, staying wasn't saving them either. Every life in North Korea is a diminished life. My staying changes nothing. That evening I called my wife. I love you. A long pause. Why are you saying that? Is something wrong? Nothing. Just wanted to say it. I love you too. 7 more days. Tell the boys. Tell them their father loves them. Tell them I'm sorry. What's going on? You're scaring me. It's nothing. Just tell them. I hung up and let myself cry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I want to live. I want to be free. The next morning I started working through the details. Ceremony begins 11 a.m. My shift was 10 to noon. The peak of the chaos would be right there. On the 23rd, 4 days out, I stood at my post and measured the distance again. 1 meter. 2 steps. That's all it is. The 26th, 1 day left. My last night. Sleep wouldn't come. I stared at the ceiling. Where will I be at this time tomorrow? In a South Korean hospital? Or dead? 4 a.m. I stood at the mirror. 45 years old. Today is the day. Morning rations. Nothing went down. Fellow guards tried to talk to me and I gave them nothing. 8 a.m. I put on my uniform. My hands shook at the buttons. This might be the last time I wear this. 9:50 a.m. I moved to my position. That spot. 20 years of mornings in that exact spot. This is the last one. A young South Korean soldier was already standing there. Our eyes met. Did he see something different in me? 10 a.m. Duty begins. The ceremony preparations filled the air with motion. People moving, voices carrying. Hold on. A little longer. 10:30, the crowds thickened. Cameras, microphones, flags on both sides. Almost time. 10:50. The energy on both sides ratcheted up. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. 11 a.m. The 70th armistice anniversary ceremony began. Both sides launched into speeches simultaneously. Sound systems booming across the plaza. I stood at my meter. The South Korean soldier stood at his. My heart was slamming. Now. Do it now. But my legs refused. 20 years of not crossing that line. My body was fighting me. Then my mother's face appeared. Chulsu, protect your country. My father's voice. You are the pride of this family. My wife. My boys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I want to live. I closed my eyes, drew in a slow breath, opened them, and walked. Left foot. I crossed the line. For the first time in 20 years, I stepped over the military demarcation line. Right foot. I was fully on South Korean ground. 1 meter. That's all it was. But the world was different. The South Korean soldier's jaw dropped. What's happening? Behind me, North Korean soldiers started shouting. Park Chulsu, what are you doing? I didn't stop. I am defecting. I said it in Korean. I want to become a citizen of the Republic of Korea. I raised my hands. I dropped my rifle. South Korean soldiers converged fast. Hands up. Don't move. They surrounded me. Defecting. I'm defecting. I kept saying it. Behind me, North Korean officers were screaming. Come back. Park Chulsu, come back. I couldn't go back. I'd already crossed. A South Korean soldier grabbed my arm. In here, quickly. I was half pulled into the building. No shots came. The North Koreans didn't fire. Inside, it was cool. Air conditioning. I was guided into a chair. My legs gave out completely. Water. Here, sir. I drank. My hands were shaking so badly the water spilled. Name? Park Chulsu. Staff Sergeant. 20 years of Panmunjom duty. The soldier blinked. 20 years? Yes. April 2003 through today. Why did you defect? I wanted to live. I wanted to be free. An ambulance arrived. I was lifted onto a stretcher. White ceiling above me. The ambulance pulled out, sirens running. Through the window sky. Same sky I'd always seen. But it felt like a different sky. So that's what freedom looks like. the ceiling of a free sky. I started crying. Joy, grief, guilt, all of it at once. Mother, I'm sorry. Wife, I'm sorry. Boys, I'm sorry. The hospital. Doctors, examinations. You're in good health. I lay in the hospital bed and looked out the window toward Seoul. High-rises, packed roads, bright lights. That's the South. That's the world I spent 20 years looking at from 1 meter away. Evening, a meal arrived. White rice, meat, multiple side dishes. The first real meal in longer than I could remember. I took a spoonful. It tasted good. Tears came again. Night. The ward went quiet. I lay in the dark and thought, I did it. I walked 1 meter. 20 years, and at the end I chose freedom. But the guilt came right behind it. What is my mother doing right now? My wife? My boys? Sleep wouldn't come. I stared at the ceiling and cried. Happiness and grief at the same time. This is what freedom costs. Dawn broke. Light came through the window. South Korea's first morning. From today, I'm a free man. Not just Park Chul-soo anymore. Something new. But one side of my chest still ached. I had walked 1 meter and left my family 10,000 miles behind. I spent a week in the hospital. Medical checks every day. My body was fine. My nights weren't. I dreamed about my family every time I closed my eyes. A week later, National Intelligence Service investigators arrived. The interrogation lasted a month, 6 hours a day. Panmunjom security structures, North Korean military movements, information on the Kim Jong-un regime. I told them everything I knew. What will happen to my family? I asked. One of the agents looked at me directly. They'll likely be punished. They could be sent to a labor camp. My chest caved. Because of me. Do you regret it? No, I don't regret it, but it hurts. September 2023, I was transferred to Hanawon, South Korea's resettlement center for North Korean defectors in Unseong, Gyeonggi Province. 3 months of adaptation training. On the first day of orientation, I introduced myself. I'm Park Chul-soo. 20 years at Panmunjom. Someone across the room said, Panmunjom? That's incredible. How did you cross? I just walked. 1 meter. Training covered everything: Korean society, economics, politics, culture, how to use a smartphone, how to use a bank, how to take the subway. Things I was learning for the first time at 45. Swipe your card like this, the instructor showed me. Strange. In North Korea, it was always cash. A month in, I was adapting slowly. But every night I thought about my family. Is my mother all right? My wife? My boys? One day I watched a news clip. North Korean state media was denouncing me. Park Chul-soo, Panmunjom guard, traitor and deserter. My face on screen. His family has been branded enemies of the people. I felt like something was being torn out of me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 3 months passed. December 2023, Hanawon training ended. The government provided housing. A studio apartment in Suwon, Gyeonggi Province. Small but mine. Is this really mine? My own place. I needed a job. 45 years old. 20 years of experience, all of it guarding a single line. A career counselor said, I can help you find security work. January 2024, first day on the job. Apartment complex security guard in Suwon. Please take care of me. I'll do my best. Security booth. CCTV monitor. Accepting packages. Listening to residents' complaints. I spent 20 years guarding the most sensitive border in the world. Now I'm guarding a parking lot. It felt hollow, but I was grateful. Evening, back to the studio. Convenience store lunch heated in the microwave. Alone, but free. I looked out at the Suwon skyline. Lights blinking in the dark. I can go anywhere I want, eat whatever I want, do what I want. But I was lonely. No family, no friends. Free but alone. This is what freedom costs. Summer came. Air conditioning. Ice cream from the convenience store. Small joys. One afternoon, a fellow defector who lived in the same apartment complex stopped me. I came over 10 years ago. Did you adjust? It was hard at first. Now it's okay. Time is the medicine. Your family still in the north? Yes. She pressed back tears without pressing them back. Autumn. My first fall in South Korea. The leaves were burning red. I climbed Gwanggyeosan in Suwon. At the top, Seoul spread out below me. A year ago, I was standing at Panmunjom, looking at the south from 1 meter away. And now I'm here. Freedom is lonely, but it's real. Winter 2024, my first winter here. Snow fell. Same snow as North Korea, but it felt different. Free snow. Christmas came, trees lit up all over the apartment complex. In North Korea, Christmas doesn't exist. "Merry Christmas, security guard," the residents called out. "Merry Christmas," I called back. First time I'd ever said those words. Strange. Good. Christmas Eve, alone in the studio. I ordered fried chicken, first time I'd ever had it. It was good, but eating alone makes it quieter. I looked north. Mother, wife, sons, please be alive. 2025, first day. I climbed Gwanggyeosan again to watch the sunrise. Red light cresting the ridge. New year. New start. Spring came. Cherry blossoms at Hwaseong Fortress in Suwon. People photographing everything, laughing at nothing in particular. So this is peace. So this is freedom. One day I was invited to a gathering of North Korean defectors. Around 10 people, all with their own stories. I'm from Hamgyong province. I'm from Pyongyang. I was a Panmunjom guard. 20 years. Panmunjom? That's something else? Not something else. 20 years wasted. Someone said, "But you're free now." I nodded. Yes. Now I'm free. Summer came again. One day the news stopped me cold. North Korea had publicly executed defectors' family members. My heart stopped. I called the NS. "Any news on my family?" "We're checking. We'll let you know." Days later, "Your mother is alive. Your wife and sons are alive, but they've been expelled from Pyongyang. They've been sent to the provinces. It won't be easy for them." Tears came. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But they're alive. Thank God they're alive." Fall, second year in the South. A lot more adjusted. Korean comes naturally now. I can navigate the subway alone. I've made friends among the defector community. "Brother, want to go hiking?" "Let's go." We climbed Bukhansan. At the summit, Seoul lay below us. "That direction is Panmunjom," I said. "You were there for 20 years?" "Yes, 1 meter away. Close enough to touch, but you couldn't cross." But I did. Eventually. Winter again. End of 2025. 2.5 years in South Korea. The security job is routine. I have friends. The loneliness has softened. Christmas Eve, a small party with defector friends. Chicken and cake. Laughter. I'm happy. Right now in this moment I'm happy. But alone later I thought about them. Are they warm tonight? Surviving the winter? I bowed toward the north. Mother, wife, sons, stay healthy. When unification comes, we'll meet again. Until then, please stay alive. Snow was falling outside. South Korean snow. Free snow. Beautiful and lonely at once. No regrets. This is the path I chose. 1 meter. I walked it 2.5 years ago. I still dream about it sometimes. Standing at Panmunjom, looking south from 1 meter away. But when I wake up, I'm here. In South Korea. Free. And alive. July 27, 2025, exactly 2 years since I crossed. I went to Panmunjom to mark the day. As a tourist this time. I arrived by bus. 2 years later, the place felt familiar and foreign at the same time. There I could see the exact spot where I stood for 20 years. 1 meter away, a North Korean soldier was standing motionless. I used to be him. 20 years in that position. A guide was speaking to the group. That line is the military demarcation line. 2 years ago, a North Korean guard defected right here. A veteran with 20 years on the post. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. That's incredible. What courage. I stood quietly and looked at that 1 meter. I was terrified that day. I could have been shot. But I did it. I actually did it. Something swelled in my chest. Back to Seoul. Subway. I can still barely believe I can just go wherever I want. 20 years of standing in one spot and now anywhere is possible. That evening, dinner with defector friends. Grilled pork belly. Happy 2-year anniversary. Thank you. We poured soju. Any regrets? A friend asked. My heart breaks when I think about my family. But regrets? No. I'm living free. Same. It's hard. But freedom is worth it. Home to the studio. My space. I lay down and stared at the ceiling. 2 years. So much has happened. I picked up my phone and scrolled to a video of Pyongyang streets. People walking. Is my family somewhere in that crowd? I looked hard at every face. I couldn't find them. Mother, are you all right? Wife, are you well? Boys, are you growing? Tears came. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But your father wanted to live. Wanted to be free. Next morning, back to work. The security booth. Residents waving as they walked by. Morning. Good morning. Lunch break. Convenience store. 4 different kinds of lunch boxes to choose from. In North Korea, there was no choosing. Here there's almost too much. Afternoon sorting packages, checking names, calling residents. An ordinary day. I'm grateful for it. Evening walk in the park. People jogging, children running, an old couple walking arm in arm. Peaceful. This is peace. I sat on a bench and looked up. Stars. Those same stars are visible from North Korea. Maybe my family is looking at them right now. I pulled out my phone and opened the Notes app. I've been writing letters I don't know if I'll ever send. Mother, it's Chulsu. I'm doing well. I'm healthy and I'm free. I'm sorry. Your son failed you, but I wanted to live. Wife, I'm sorry. I left you behind. But what we had was real. I was happy. Sons, forgive your father. I was a coward. But I believe someday you'll understand. When unification comes, let's meet again. Until that day, stay alive. I'll be here staying alive too. I saved the letter. Maybe I'll send it someday. When the border opens. When the country becomes one. Home. Shower. Bed. Tomorrow will be another ordinary day. Security work. Meals. A walk. Sleep. Ordinary but free. Before I close my eyes, I look north one more time. Mother. Wife. Sons. I love you. Be safe. I close my eyes. In the dream, I find them. My mother is smiling. Chulsu, you did well. Yes, mother. My wife is there too. Are you happy? Yes. I'm happy. The boys come running. Dad, Dad. I hold them. Warm. Then morning comes. Sunlight through the window. South Korea's morning. A free morning. I get up and open the window. Fresh air. Today is a good day. I say it to no one. 1 meter. I walked it 2 years ago. I lost my family. I gained my freedom. It hurts, but I don't regret it. This is the life I chose, and I am living it.